Friday night hoops in the 2025 BigV State Champ Men's season. It's round 14 getting underway, contrary to what you might think considering this matchup, but it is indeed game of the round in the State Champ Men. The 12-4 McKinnon Cougars travel into Boroondara Sports Complex to face the 7-9 Camberwell Dragons. Jack Thornton alongside me, Ted West. And Ted, it's a big matchup tonight. The Dragons have been rolling. The Cougars are always there or thereabouts. What do you make coming into this game between these two sides?
Well, look, I firstly think that it being a Friday night hoops over school holidays is an awesome initiative. I think Camberwell have done a fantastic job. This game was unfortunately abandoned last week, so they'll do some quick work behind the scenes to get this organised. So I love the fact that it's on a Friday night, but I was there last time they played each other. Unfortunately, McKinnon's Nate Davis went down with a quite severe ankle injury, but apart from that, McKinnon seemed to just control this game very easily. Having said that, Camberwell didn't have some key players that they do now. Some seriously dynamic and magical pieces. One of them in the starting lineup, their sort of newest import, Sean Conway, who's made some dramatic steps and really boosted this Camberwell team into honestly quite a competitive side amongst the top teams, having taken down Hume City last weekend.
100%. You mentioned Conway coming into that lineup. He's been a formidable force across the league over his time in the comp so far. 31 points a game, player of the month last month, leads all comers in the scoring front. I suppose for this Camberwell outfit, it's a bit of a question of how far back is too far back, and obviously a very slow start to the year before the Conway era. They're a different team with him in the lineup. 2 games outside the 4, as you mentioned, with about 6 games left to play for both these teams. You'd think they have to go ahead and win both to be any chance of finals. Yeah,
I think so. And look, this competition is so close. It's grown exponentially over the years, and it's become super competitive. You've got teams that are making a run early, late. You got, I don't even want to say that they're upset wins by some teams, because it is so close, and I don't think this Camberwell team are going to go anywhere. I think this is going to be really close and really competitive. I think they've got some serious size advantage, I think, across the board with Reeves. I think he's probably got a bit of a size advantage over Fowler. Fowler's really smart and patient and pain, but Reeves is probably just that more physical guy.
Set for a tip here. Friday night hoops, as we mentioned, Camberwell control the tip, but straight to Mitch Barry, who just about opened the scoring account there for McKinnon underneath, but Reeves gobbles it up, and Camberwell have their first attempt of the game. Here's Andre. Upstairs, look for Reeves, and turned it straight over. Fowler equal to the task. Gear looking with the left, tip out rebound, finds Barry wide open for 3. Had an eternity. Front iron and in off the backboard.
I like that from Camberwell to try and get Reeves going nice and early and boost this crowd quickly, get them engaged as much as possible. So I don't mind that attempt with the alley-oop.
Crow, little high post jump shot was long off the back iron. McKinnon will take it away. Gear coming into this game, 12.5 points a game for him on the season. They've missed him the last 2 games they've played. Comes back into their lineup tonight. Fowler looking to work on Mulqueenie. Nice spin move underneath with the left. Good finish and a little flex to the crowd too.
I love that play that they do. They throw him in the post and they empty it out and have sort of a back cut off that slot. Like Remo gets it, Shaq gets it. If not, Fowler's just able to drill it. As Trent Andre comes back with a nice return from 3.
Yeah, Andre, as we've come to expect so much for him over the course of the season, tees up his first 3, and you don't want to see him get hot if you're in that McKinnon blue tonight.
Absolutely. I know you and I were talking about that off comms before, that if he hits one, then there's going to be some more coming up pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Is wide open, a Ben Crow layup. Knots the game back up at 5. Just under 2 minutes gone, first quarter.
I love the speed. The speed of this game already, the tempo that Camberwell want to play with.
They tried to tee up a 3 there, and nice rebound underneath was Fowler, who tried a jump hook. Second in a row that couldn't go for him. Frustrated with the contact and no call as they try the lead pass for Reeves, who goes up, contested finish. Nice on the right.
That's the kind of big you want in this league, a guy that can get up and down the floor quickly.
You mentioned the speed of both these teams, both averaging probably in the top 5 for points, especially for Camberwell since Conway's been in the lineup. But McKinnon just do this year in, year out, don't they? They're just often able to be one of the most high-powered offenses in the comp, and their defense is equal to the task most of the time as well.
Yeah, well, she puts him in, you know, this really good offense which just gives them so much freedom, like just real conceptual stuff where, you know, it's just 2-man actions, 3-man actions, and then just play out of that and find wrinkles. So I think the fact that these guys just have complete freedom almost in how they want to play, it makes them so much more confident when they shoot.
Here's Andre again for another triple off the back iron that time round as Conway tried to take one away underneath. They'll control it now though through Gear. Gear inside, Fowler. Working on Reeves. Kick out pass for Barry. Thought about the triple. Decided to put it on the floor. He's going to get it up and in. Nice finish. And the foul on Conway as well.
The fact that that's such a key thing for McKinnon of playing through Fowler. Like being such a calm and composed guy on sort of that mid-ish low post and turn up, face and see what's going on. Do I have the opportunity to go one-on-one or can I look to facilitate?
Barry at the line. Connects on that one. Normally pretty reliable. Makes 2 out of every 3 on his trips on the season.
3 minutes. Hasn't seen Conway anywhere yet, to be honest. He's just sort of finding his way through. Having said that,
this on games over the course of the year, a lot of his shots come in the context of offense, not going out of his way to get those 30 points. Very ethical from that standpoint. Be interested to see if the matchup from a McKinnon standpoint takes him out of that tonight. Fowler inside. Got Reeves to bite on the jump and finishes with the right inside.
I like how you talk about Conway and how Camberwell just find him through the offense. Makes it so much harder to guard. It doesn't look like they've tagged him or anything specifically. They're just sort of letting him go around as Alec Mulqueeny gets a nice turnaround too.
As you mentioned, Mulqueeny, turnaround Jay from the block. It's nice to see a lot of play through the blocks early in this one as Gear floats one up and in with the left. It's not often you're getting a real dominant big in this league so much nowadays compared to maybe, you know, I think back to 10, 15 years ago with the Brad Bridgewaters of the world who were out there banging bodies. Speaking of banging bodies, Reeves jumps up with the right and misses. A lot of play through the post with these with these two teams. And obviously a lot of size out of this lineup for McKinnon tonight. No Davis, no Jordan Vandenberg as Fowler goes inside and finishes with the right off the nice find from Kobe Baird.
Mate, I remember when you played alongside Tom O'Connor at the Dragons, probably two of the tallest guys in this competition. You were both able to stretch the floor as Reeves has a really good slip.
Yeah, top play at the top of the key there. Andre the vision to find him underneath. Yeah, it was certainly one of the bigger front courts in the league going back a season ago for Camberwell, and that one's going to sail out of bounds. Almost looked like it could have come off a hand, but no, indeed the field goal was good as there'll be some changes for McKinnon. Smakovicius coming out of the game with Kobe Baird. For his first minutes of the game, the formidable Shaquille Maharaj and Levi Smith. Interesting to have Big Shaq coming off the bench for McKinnon. He's been one of the better contributors in the league over the course of the last 2 years.
I think he led the league in scoring quite early for the first few weeks.
He did indeed. He's still averaging well over 20 a game.
Yeah.
Obviously with Conway leading the way now at a fraction over 30. Here is Conway, doubled from 2 parties, tried to skip the ball and Barry, the nice vision to pick that one off and take it back the other way for McKinnon.
I think that's what we're going to expect quite a bit. If Conway goes into that post or if he finds himself broken in the offense, and McKinnon going to go and double just like they did. Really good job by them to force an awkward pass.
It looked like a lot of switch action early for McKinnon on Conway, and we see it again there as Andre was the beneficiary. Stepping to the side was Mulqueeny. No good on the triple attempt. And once again, McKinnon control the defensive rebound. 6 points to the good. Early days here. There's a nice feed inside from Barry to Fowler. Found him in an acre of space underneath.
I think both teams are struggling a little bit in pick and roll coverages as bigs are finding themselves wide open. Even then, we find Trent Andre on the wing off that reversal out of the ball screen, I think.
Right on cue, Trent Andre filling it up again. His second 3 of the game, 6 for him. Smith now, Fowler inside. Reeves for company, spinning, looking on the left and then the right, and then getting it with contact. And one.
He liked that too.
Getting himself going up to 10 points in the game for Shannon Fowler. Just a tick under 7 minutes gone here in the first as Matt Hart and Angus Howie will come into the game for Camberwell. Mulqueeny and Reeves will take a seat.
I don't know about you, but in some of these ball screens, do you think it might be worth some of these guys looking to tag these rollers a little bit? Just sort of some body checks as they're running through. I know Camberwell are shooting pretty well, and to be honest, McKinnon aren't doing so bad either, so over-helping is a concern, but
I think the challenge from both of these sides is knowing where the scores are going to come from, and I think knowing that Conway, for instance, and Andre have both strong capabilities from 3. Andre missing that time. I think the switching and real hot pressure on the ball has been good so far from McKinnon, and for Camberwell, it's just not allowing Fowler to have his way inside as Conway, as he's done so many times over the course of his short tenure, pulls up from the elbow and puts it in.
I'm excited to see what he can do tonight. This is the first time I'm seeing him in person, and I like it already. He's just so calm and composed.
Gear a 3 to respond down the other end. Extends the lead out to 9. Biggest lead of the game for McKinnon so far. Hart, Andre, Conway. A lot of shooting on the floor for Camberwell at the moment. Here is Conway for 3. Off the front of the rim and out. Maharaj controls the rebound. This will be an off-ball foul. I think it's going to go against Howie at will. Just tried to get in front of that Fowler seal inside, and I think Fowler's actually going to have a seat on the back of that too. He will.
He's been dominant. That, almost 8 minutes of the first quarter. He was such a huge presence. Really impactful to get this McKinnon group out to a very nice start.
Here's Gear. Working off the ball screen at the top. Drew a crowd of defenders. Kick out pass, Maharaj. Corner 3, right down the middle.
Yeah, will be a struggle if Camberwell continue to do that for the rest of the night. Just 5 guys turning and walking into the paint. McKinnon got too many shooters.
Now, 12 points to lead for McKinnon at this stage as Sean Clark tried to put one up. Clark, who's been a stalwart somewhat for Camberwell over the last 3-4 years, missed a lot of this season through concussion and injuries of various levels. Now, an interesting stat, and I'm not going to tell you who gave this stat to me before the game, but I've called it the Sean Shank redemption. In the last 2 games, the 2 Seans on this Camberwell roster, who are both on the floor at the moment, Conway and Clark, have combined for 44 and 33 in their last 2. Neither of them played against McKinnon last time out. So, with this 12-point disadvantage, now 11 after the second free throw, you have to wonder if the Seans might be the difference, and it will indeed be a Sean Shank redemption.
I like it. The Sean Shank redemption.
Here you go, McKinnon now. Levi Smith. Inside, look for Maharaj. It's going to bounce off a foot and fall out of play, and they'll get a quick reset as the changes for McKinnon will come into the game. It'll be Baird and Gear that'll have a seat. Barry to inbound. Looking. Barry gets it back. Looking, little rondo move underneath. Missed. Got his own rebound now off the tip out. They'll get a 14-second reset here. 1:20 to go in the first. Maharaj inside, nice move, finds it inside. It was Romanx that got in there to finish with the contact. He's going to go to the line and one. All three of the, beg your pardon, all bar one of the fouls at the moment for Camberwell have resulted in and ones, and they'd be wanting to clean that up with their 13-point disadvantage going into the first break.
Shaq loved that pass, didn't he?
Outstanding feed underneath.
Love that
Goodness
pass.
me.
Put some goggles on him.
I don't know how he quite got that through. There's about 4 sets of Camberwell hands in the paint there, and it still managed to find the target.
I think he was throwing it no matter what by the looks of it.
Blew the free throw, not entirely surprising. Only a 33% shooter on the year. Here's Andre inside, going up, powering up. Kick out pass for Hart. Puts it right down the middle. Matt Hart, big three to cut the lead back to 10.
Youth League 1 men MVP in 2024 at the Vikings.
Hart, beg your pardon, that was Clark underneath that won it away, threw it away, and ended up assisting the layup for Remo. Simankavicius with his first points of the game. And there's going to be I think that's going to be a foul away from the play here. It is indeed. Foul's going to go against Simankavicius. His first. Second team for McKinnon.
Might be a 2-for-1 opportunity here, sorry.
So 32 and 9/10 left on the game clock. Camberwell with the ball, 14 on their shot. I think if you're Camberwell, you are probably trying to get that 2-for-1 in this situation. We'll see how quick they work. Andre, long three-pointer, way off. Not sure that's the one you're asking for if you're Camberwell, and that goes down the other way with interest.
There you go.
Andre, they'll go to Conway. And I think they'll probably clear this one out for him. They'll go for ball screen. They will. Howie comes, gets the mismatch. Conway, step back three, long way out. Front iron and out. Gets the rebound, spinning inside. A lot of contact again, no good. Barry, three-quarter court heave was off. And after all that, McKinnon are going to go into the first change. A 14-point lead up. It's McKinnon 34 and Camberwell 20. Ted West, first quarter thoughts.
I mean, if McKinnon are going to score 30 points in every single quarter, Camberwell have probably got a long night ahead. You can't let him do that. Again, they're looking at, what's that, 68 half.
Points a half,
Points a half. So that's a bit of a concern. I like how McKinnon is switching a lot, but I also think that Camberwell can exploit that a little bit by some slips, some cheats. They can even go some ball screens, which I really like. They're 3 points, 3 of 10. I think they're like, Sean's probably taking the shots that he normally would, though, by the looks of it. Like, he's short on a few that I'm sure he's probably made in the past. They don't look uncomfortable to him by any means. I think ball screens they definitely need to fix up, but
yeah, I think the disruption that's coming from McKinnon's defense, especially in that ball screen action where it's either a switch or a blitz, like there's not really any in between for them in those instances. And I think just in terms of how disruptive they've been, that's what's taken Camberwell out of a lot of their looks. You get a look at those leading scorers there. It's really been all Fowler for McKinnon, then had pretty much raffle off the 6-point scorers across the rest of the board, but it's been Fowler that's been the difference so far, really.
It is, and I think defensively for McKinnon, they're just showing bodies every time that ball's on the floor inside the three-point line. Like if they're burning that first guy, there's a second or third that's right in front. So Conway's got caught a few times there, even off that last spin move with Shaq just right there taking it away.
100%. Glad you're here with us wherever you are, joining us for Game of the Round. It's Friday Night Hoops in the Big V from BSC tonight. Good crowd in too for a Friday night.
It is a good crowd. I do like that.
Nice school holiday crowd.
Yeah. Good youth league game on before as well. It was Camberwell who beat McKinney. I think it was 8 points.
A bit of an upset in the end. Yeah, I think they'd be certainly scratching their heads down at Cougarland on the back of that one. But you'd no doubt expect both those teams to be featuring when the whips are cracking in a couple of months' time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Camberwell will get us going here to start the second. Here's Hart inside, working. Tried to float it up with the left, wasn't any good. They'll skip ahead to Maharaj, who tried to get up and jam it, but got a lot of contact underneath. Ended up getting his own rebound, and he's dirty at that call, but will indeed play on and go the other way. Here's Clark. Clark looking for Conway. Bounced off a foot a couple of times. He's going to save it, keep it in play. Here's Hart. Working again. Euro stepping his way down the lane. Finishes with the right. Nice. From the former Youth 1 MVP.
Such an energetic guy. He will work and work and work on both ends. He'll be exhausted, but this man will run through a brick wall.
Maharaj looking. Bit of an awkward little drop pass underneath. And then an even more awkward looking three ball from Levi Smith hits the corner of the backboard and falls away.
Didn't look like he shot it. He sort of just chucked it. I think he just held his release and took a little bit more time.
Conway looking. High post elbow jump shot. No good. Shooting a paltry 20% so far.
It looks like his shot, though. He looks very comfortable taking that shot.
Smith looking and got it batted away by Hart. Not sure what the stoppage is for here. I think they're going to call this offensive maybe. Nope. Oh, no, yeah, they definitely are. No, there was a stoppage there. I just couldn't quite pick up what was going on. But Hart drew the charge on the Levi Smith drive. And it'll be a Camberwell ball off the baseline. Bit of full court pressure here for the Cougars too. It'll be hard to handle it. Let's see if he can be hard to handle here with the ball in hand. They'll go through Reeves at the top. Reeves has Maharaj for company. They'll kick out to Clark. Clark, they just left him all alone out there. Reeves tried to go inside. A lot of body contact. Wanted the call, nothing doing. The Cougars will take it away. Barry. Kick out pass. Painenborg. The three. And there's going to be an off-ball foul on the rebound there. I think that's going to go against... It's going to go against Ben Crow underneath for the hold on Maharaj, and it's going to be a side out.
The penetrating kick, Gaynor and McKinnon playing are just so disruptive for the Dragons right now. They're just struggling to keep their man in front, having to be in rotations a lot.
Maharaj, the three, right down the eyes with the contact too. His third triple of the game extends this lead out to 15. Hart, made both of them stumble as inside went Conway, and he's going to go to the line and shoot a couple. It was a nice little drive on the kick-out pass from Hart. And Conway is going to go to the line to try and get a couple of freebies.
What's so good about him already is that he's missed some threes, he's missed some pulled-up twos. He missed that one to get himself to a line, and he does not look phased. No, you could say so many other players in this league and across the board in Australia would be kicking themselves if they missed that. But this guy looks so calm and composed that he's like, you know what, I'm going to get to the free throw line, I'm going to get myself some freebies.
Good on the first.
Yeah. See the ball go through the net, reset, and then come back to attack this last 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, the barest of margins underneath 89% on the season. And sure enough, this is the second.
1 to 2.
Commentator's curse, I guess.
Sorry, Sean.
Oh, Barry let it bounce in front of him. He tried to get it to, I think that was Gear that was trying to come off the stagger. It'll be Gear at the top now that ends up with it anyway. Receiving the screen, looking. They tried to whip that inside, and it's going to bounce off a Camberwell foot. And with 1 on the shot clock, it's going to be McKinnon with the side out. It'll be Barry to inbound.
Yeah, just a broken play there. I think they just got caught with a little bit of miscommunication as to where people were going, but...
So Barry from deep in an alleyway. Painenborg a three. Almost banked it in.
Jeez. It looked too good from this angle.
Conway pulling up the three at the top. In and out. McKinnon will take it away through Barry. Barry for three. Just off the front iron and out, and a lot of contact on that rebound, but controlled by Reeves.
Definitely slowed down this second quarter. It's been a lot more of a half-court game and not sluggish in offense, but just some rush shots early in the shot clock.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the look that Camberwell would be asking for. Reeves a step back two. Here's Maharaj. Sent back by Reeves. Makes amends on the other end. Nice bit of defensive play to recover. Conway. Free throw line jump shot. Around and out. And now the tempo certainly started driving up again. Maharaj on Mulqueeny finishes. Here's Conway. Conway had Crow open on the wing, turned him down. It'll be Hart now at the top. Hart for three. Front iron and out. Mulqueeny the rebound. Turned down Conway that time. Here is Crow. And a nice bit of active hands there from Fowler to swat that one out of bounds. 10 on the shot clock.
Camberwell just need to just settle their nerves a little bit, get back to a bit of structure in the half court, get a really good set here. I mean, only 10 seconds in the shot clock, but get a nice baseline out right now. Get 2 points or 3 points on the board, go get a stop, and then go again.
So Conway will take a seat, as too will Mitch Barry. So we haven't really had a great insight into who's had the Conway matchup. It's sort of been by committee, but if that's anything to go with, it might be Barry on the scout that has had that direct matchup for the most part.
Yeah, I like it from McKinnon. I haven't had to focus on him yet, and they've been able to just stay within their defensive principles. Because it's very easy to go week by week and have to change what you're doing defensively depending on just one player.
Yeah, I was at a game not that long ago where Conway had a really quiet first half and then ended up having 30 by the end of it. So I dare say that might be a chance this time round if he starts getting going in the second half, take that breather at halftime to refocus and reset. Mulqueeny tried a three down that last end and couldn't get it. Painenborg. Smith probably had a little more space than he thought. Kobe Baird. Looking, they'll go to the corner. Here's Gear. Andre for company. Step back triple over the top. Almost banked it in.
Very east-west, that offense there. Didn't get much north-south as unfortunate in transition. That would have been really good for Camberwell to get.
Crow tried to line one up and missed it. They definitely needed that one. Now, here goes that offense again. They'll try and get it inside. Saved nicely by Hart. It's just a bit of a clumsy play there from Painenborg. Runs through the back of Crow. Falls over. And
over halfway. And we haven't seen much offense here. They've been able to get stops, the Dragons, but on the other end, they haven't really been able to convert.
So we're a hair under halfway through the second quarter. It's been 5 points to 3 so far in this one. It's certainly not one for the purists. Let's see if Andre can do something about it. He cannot. Smankiewicz takes it away. Here's Gear. Down low for Fowler. Working on Reeves. Might spin back to that jump hook that's so familiar. He'll get done on the floor there, though. And Sean King is beside himself. And he will indeed call a timeout. To my knowledge, unsponsored timeout in the Big V. Now, try and do a bit of soul searching. Down 16, 4:25 to go in the second. It'll be a McKinnon ball when we come back. And you have to think that McKinnon going back to the well with having that play through Fowler in the post is probably the way forward for them in this one.
Yeah, I definitely think that post up where they hit that, or they play through that back cut on the weak side and let Fowler go to work is probably their prime offense right now. They're playing some dribble handoffs that they're getting opportunities, but Fowler is obviously being so disruptive. He's drawing bodies when he's putting the ball on the floor and facilitating when he needs to, but when they're not, he's able to get to the rim. He's drawing fouls. He's getting to the free throw line. There's not much he's doing wrong right now.
Absolutely, and I feel like it was a conversation I had in a game not that long ago. It might have been may have even been an NBL 1 game, but the conversation around bigs that are just patient and know when to distribute and find players when theirs isn't necessarily there. And Fowler's definitely fitting into that category when it comes to patience and leading the offense. The scoring's been his so far, but wouldn't shock me if he's able to distribute a little more.
Yep.
He's got Maharaj getting going as well. Not on the floor at the moment. I think he may have just come out in that last change, but he's definitely still on there. He's got a plethora of scorers around him. And Kobe Baird as well, who's more than capable when it comes to distributing the ball himself. He will be the one to inbound it and throw it straight into the hand of Sean Conway, who swats it out of bounds. We'll have another go from a little bit further down.
Might be a bit more difficult to find the post here. I think Jordan Gear's probably the simple option to just get it inside.
Tom James has just checked in for Camberwell out of that last time out as well. Levi Smith at 3, connects. And that's a game-high lead for McKinnon. Out to 19 now. Andre. Off the screen from James. Conway now on Smith. They'll hedge and help. Kick out pass for Crow. Conway lost the handle of it. A lot of pressure here with 5 on the shot clock. Tried to pull up. Here's Andre with 1. Long-range three-pointer. An enormous shove in the back by Tom James, and that'll turn over and go McKinnon's way. And, geez, they just look defunct at the moment, this Camberwell offense. Don't know where their next score's coming from.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they really need to just get back to some structure, find Conway within the offense like he spoke about earlier. He's driving into bodies and just getting swarmed, and once that ball's kicked out, it's almost just going straight back to him as Fowler finds Levi.
Great skip pass from the post. And
Ball it.
Just couldn't finish on the triple. But that was what we were just talking about a moment ago. Bigs that can distribute when it's not their shot. It's a bit of a change of pace defensively now for Camberwell. Conway, corner 3 for Crow. In and out, and the drought for Camberwell continues. Smith looking for Gear. Fowler. Gear. It's going to be an offensive foul that'll go against Fowler this time. I think he thought it was going to go the other way, but just 2 hands in the chest, and it's going to turn over and go the direction of Camberwell. Andre is going to take a seat. It'll be Jaden Lai that comes into the game. His first minutes of the evening. This is that full court pressure that we've seen from McKinnon over the course of this one so far. Certainly trying to do everything they can to get the ball out of Conway's hands. It's almost a bit of a dummy pressure in the backcourt. James looking for Lai. Lai breaks the drought for Camberwell.
Impact straight away. Maybe he's that one piece that they just need 6 points from in his last 3 minutes.
No, they'd certainly welcome it at this stage. They need anything they can offensively. Fowler on James. Bounces it off his foot, ends up with Gear. Gear working on the left hand, floating up with the right. Couldn't get it, and here goes Camberwell again. Trying to get another answer here. Conway. Backing down Baird. It's all Conway here. Working, gets the double, floats it up, gets the foul. He's going to go to the line to shoot a pair.
Pretty helpful from Camberwell there, just some bodies moving, being disruptive, not allowing McKinnon to just sit and swarm that paint, but you know, some cuts and some movement around that three-point line and through the paint just allowed Conway to dig his way in and get to that free throw line. I wouldn't say he was structured or anything like that, but just disruptive.
Absolutely not. And Conway, 1 or 2 on the game so far from the line. No mistake on the first. A couple of changes there as well for McKinnon. Barry and Maharaj came into the game, so you have to think for Adam Walsh that this might be an opportunity with 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter and the run into half-time with a couple of bench guys out there for Camberwell, that this is the opportunity they want to put the foot down and almost put the game to bed up 15.
Yeah. Fully agree there.
Fowler spinning on James, lost the handle, kick out past Maharaj, corner 3. Off the side and out, but no box out on Barry means it's an easy tip in. Lai, Mulqueenie spinning to Conway. A lot of body contact on Barry, and Conway's going to go to the line again. This is what we've mentioned a couple of times. Conway in the context of the offense. Now 2 plays in a row. He's been able to find his way to the stripe.
Yeah, just chipping away there. Camberwell just need to get scores and stops. I need to start stringing some stuff together. I can't be in a position right now this far behind to just allow it to be score. They need to string some stops together here.
Certainly can't have the mental fades like they did on that last possession where Barry got the uncontested O-board and tip in. We'll take another time out here. It'll be McKinnon's this time round. 1:41 to go here in the first half of this game of the round on a Friday night in the Big V.
What do you reckon would happen? McKinnon have a full side. Here was Nathan Davis. In the last time these two met, he went down with that very unfortunate ankle injury. I had a brief chat with him before the game, and he's very close to coming back, whether it be another week, maybe 2, but he's definitely a piece that they need, and just that outside shooting, exterior shooting, and a bit of energy as well. But I mean, these guys got 44 points, probably going to get 50, I would think, to end the half here. But you add him in, I think McQueen is in here as well, an impactful guy off the bench who, like Barry just did, gets O-boards and punishes in transition, a guy who can play above the rim as well.
Yeah, no JV as well. He's out at the moment through injury, I believe.
Yeah,
so
like this.
A lot of stock missing, and that's,
100%.
you know, it's a team that knows how to get it done at the pointy end of the season, and it's getting an injection of so many, you know, stars across the league. It's hard to, you know, you sort of only have to think back 2 seasons, and Nate Davis was one of the absolute studs in this competition before he went down with his knee in the finals. I still managed to do it without him, mind you, but I'm sure they would absolutely welcome the injection that he brings.
No doubt.
Barry inside for Fowler. Nice feed, nice finish for the big fella, up to 13.
Tough to get that one through the paint. Camberwell almost had all 5 of their guys sitting in there.
There's only so many guys you can stuff in that paint, as James went underneath and almost looked like it could have been a walk, but they say no, and he's going to go to the line to shoot a couple. James, a 72% shooter on the year. See what he can do from the line as McKinnon make a couple of changes. Fowler will take a seat, as too will Levi Smith.
Luke Leinberg subbing in for the first time today, coming off his Youth League game just before.
No good on the first from James. Good on the second. So currently 16 points. You'd think that McKinnon will top the 50 coming into the halftime break. They're going to go through Painenborg on the outside. Gear now. Maharaj ripping and going and floating up with the left and in. He's just so prolific when he gets sort of to that long athletic position on a drive, and it's almost like a scoop layup from distance. He's so efficient with the ball in hand.
He is. He looks unbalanced a lot of the time when he shoots threes, when he's in the paint, but I think it's his hands. He's able to just grasp that ball and just control it so well.
Conway, elbow jump shot was pure.
Yeah.
And he's seen a couple go down now, Conway, so you have to think that he might start to get going after the half. 18 points down, they're going to need him, Camberwell. Here's Barry. looking, Gear. Barry, uncontested for 3 in the end. Mulqueenie tapped up, tried to get it to himself. Nice effort there from Lineberg to come up with it. And with 10 seconds now, Barry with 5. Looking, spinning, threw it up in the end and missed it. Not happy with himself that he couldn't get away with it, but he'll have to be delighted with that first half performance from McKinnon. They're going to go into the main change. An 18-point leader. It's 50-32 here on a Friday night at BSC. We'll take a quick break. We'll join you back for the second half in not too long. Don't go anywhere. Big second half coming up here from BSC. in Big V. It's game of the round, Friday night style here at BSC. Jack Thornton, Ted West alongside me, and really it's been all McKinnon. 50-32 their lead at the half-time break. What's gone wrong for Camberwell? What's gone right for McKinnon? Really, it's a tale of two teams for this Camberwell outfit. They've been so good in the last few weeks, and this has really been them straying from the norm, I guess.
Yeah, look, I think McKinnon jumped him pretty quickly in a lot of those ball screen coverages early, and Shannon Fowler was dominant inside the paint. He got some of the Camberwell bigs up in the air and drew some fouls, and he made a seriously big impact. Even his ability to distribute off that post and just find guys and create advantages. But then Camberwell on the other end, I think they've just been struggling to find comfortable looks. Like, I don't think they've had a really good look consistently. Like, it's always been with a carrying hand. It's always been off one foot, not so balanced. I think they really need to get back to some structure, be really detailed in where their shot selection is going to come from, and then get some stops. 50 points, this McKinnon group's on the way to get 100. You got to get some stops here and turn this thing around. Yeah, 100%.
And McKinnon, who normally have a pretty prolific offense, and it was 100 points that got the job done for them last time out against Camberwell. It looks like, man, even 100 points is going to get it done by more this time around, as we'll get going here for the third quarter. Gear almost got blocked by Conway, got out of the shot at the last second. Shot clock running down with Barry. Kicking out, skip pass to the corner. Simankavicius the three, no good. Nice rebound inside Fowler, who short-armed the layup on the putback.
Still got two guys up in the air off a pump fake. I think that's just got to be an adjustment that Camberwell have to make. These pump faking almost every time.
Absolutely. Bigs are in foul trouble as well for Camberwell. A couple of guys with two as they come into the second half, as Reeves tries to jump hook and gets it on the right. Opens the account for the second half.
Yeah, he'd love to see the ball fall through the net for himself, get a little bit going in this second term.
3 of 6 shooting for him on the game, as you just saw. Here's Baird. Found a lot of space inside, and they ended up turning the ball over there. Did McKinnon, as Conway walks into a triple and puts it in. Straight away for Sean Conway after the break. Needed to see that one go down for the Camberwell talisman. Barry. Almost looked like a walk. Here's Gear. Gear evaluating inside. Simankavicius putting it up with the right. Gets his own offensive rebound and finishes. Too strong for Reeves inside that time.
Yeah. Deceptively strong, Remo is. Really good at using his body and staying balanced.
He's done it for so long between clubs at NBL 1 level. Melbourne, Nunawading. Finds himself at McKinnon now as Ben Crow pours one in from the outside.
Yeah. When Crowy's on, he is seriously on. Just sneaky when he finds these threes.
Been one of the better three-point shooters, I beg your pardon, over the last couple of years. As it's going to be a foul called against Camberwell. Camberwell dirty on it in the end, but ultimately that was the call.
Look, you know what? That's all right. I like this. I like how Camberwell have come out here. They've got a bit of confidence about themselves right now.
Well, they're just completely lost all control of the containment there defensively on the inbound, and Reeves got absolutely burnt by Fowler, who finished and got the foul. 15 points on the game for Big Shannon.
70% too as well. Super efficient. Knows when to pass it, knows when it's his chance.
More importantly, if you're on the McKinnon sideline, to be honest, even on the Camberwell sideline, 3 fouls for Reeves.
Gets him in as well. I like that from Coach King. You never know what's going to happen when these players sub out. 3 fouls, 4 fouls. You leave them in, you give them that chance. What would happen if you took them out? What's going to happen when you keep them in?
A pretty poor turnover there from Mulqueenie, and Baird's going to throw the skip pass that ends up with Gear, and then Barry, who tried to step back. Gear now teeing up a 3. Back iron and out. Conway the rebound. This is slightly better looking for Camberwell now. They've 5 points to the good in this third quarter so far. Andre Conway, the three is good. Sean Conway, another triple.
I'm starting to see how he's getting his averages. Just able to elevate. His ability to elevate is so good.
Fowler inside, a lot of contact from Mulqueeny, and he puts it in and one.
I really need Camberwell to start tagging in these ball screen coverages.
Getting killed at the moment when that ball gets inside to Fowler. They've just got no answer for the big fella at this stage. Up to 18 points on the game on a very efficient 73%.
Yeah, he was wide open there. They were going to find him every day in the week.
To extend the lead back out is good. 15 points the advantage for McKinnon. And it'll be Conway to handle it to try and cut it back some more for Camberwell. Conway saw the double coming and got out of there. Now individual coverage from Conway. Here's Reeves. Backing down, spinning onto the right, flipped it up, couldn't get it. And Baird will take it away. Here's Kobe Baird. Pulling up, walking into the three. Off the back iron and gently fell to Reeves underneath. Conway now. Probably the respect he deserves there too. One of the best defenders in the comp the last few years in Mitch Barry. Ball ends up with Crow. Low shot clock now. Andre pulling up. Netball line three was just around and out. Reeves, that ball was actually fell on the floor there for a second as Crow now has an opportunity. And he's no good as well. Shooting a pretty meager 29% from three, the Dragons. Might need to start looking into another avenue. Oh, Gear went to the tin, and I think he's going to get the call. It's going to be a base. It's going to be a baseline ball, I think. Foul's going to go against Reeves. It's going to be his fourth. And they'll make that change right away. And importantly for the Dragons, let's put them right on the limit. 5.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Definitely not what you want, fighting back a big lead or big deficit.
Well, they weren't even doing too bad, to be honest. They were,
oh, my word.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot that needs to be said about that one. That was just a total lapse from the Dragons' defense there. They broke contain completely.
Happy to move on after that one, I think.
I would say so, and not least in this commentary booth. Andre now. Skip pass. Mulqueeny. Long two. Was right down the middle. The old Kevin Garnett too.
Yeah. Ball through hands, Camberwell. Let's get some ball through hands.
All of a sudden, feet in the paint, they get an open shooter. It seems like it's a pretty straightforward equation for them. But
jump to a zone. The Dragons now trying to mix it up a bit.
Barrier three, no good. Nice rebound. Maharaj with his awkward-looking action. No good. First miss on the game, I think, from three for him. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Turnover now for Maharaj. Goes inside. Mulqueeny gets the charge. Did well to get in front of it and stay in front. Maharaj so good when he gets downhill at pace in that instance and did well to stay in front.
Yeah, great job from Mulqueeny to put his body on the line there. A lot of guys would sort of stay on that top shoulder or that inside shoulder and try and have a go for the ball and most likely put him on the line. So really good from Mulqueeny to just stay grounded, stay centered, take that contact in the chest, which is what coaches love, and do those 1%ers. Get the ball back as well.
So Camberwell, 15 points in arrears. We'll play through Andre. Geez, that was hideously close to a backcourt turnover there. It's his Conway. Tried to get one to go in the mid-range. He's going to try again. Spinning, pulling up. Oh, geez, that's ill-advised, I would say. Had a couple of options. I suppose he's seen the first couple go down this quarter. I could see where his head was at. And the head was saying, yes, please, I'll have some more. Barry, Maharaj, corner three, connects. Another three-pointer for Maharaj, 16 on the game for him.
A lot of baseline drives finding weak side, and you're not seeing many Nash dribbles in this. They're just jumping to find a pass.
Mulqueenie had an eternity to line up a three, missed it. Fowler, active hands, comes away with the steal.
0.5, playing the break.
Oh, geez, that gets me excited. Don't say those words. Let's see what he can do from the 0.5 here. Distributes Barry inside, underneath, in good.
Great.
Up and under, timeout, Camberwell.
Yeah.
Ties the game high lead of 20 with 3:25, and there's going to be a warning against Mulqueenie after the play, but it will be a timeout for Camberwell. And all of a sudden, that hard work they did in the first minute or two of the quarter is all for naught. And it's back out to 20.
Yeah, Shannon Fowler edging close to that double-double, 19 points, 9 rebounds. Been very influential here. We talk about him quite a lot tonight. Well, I think we're going to keep talking about him for the rest of this third and fourth.
So we'll talk about him for the rest of the season as well. I think this is a McKinnon team that's certainly well-tooled to make a good tilt at another flag. Obviously, grand finalists a year ago and premiers 2 years ago. So they've certainly got the pedigree there. A lot of that core staying together. They just keep adding pieces.
Absolutely. They got a fantastic heritage round this weekend. They've got 4 home games across Saturday, Sunday. Then they've really brought it back to some ancient times with this awesome uniform made by iAthletic. If you're keen to check it out, jump on the McKinnon socials to have a look, because it is fantastic. I love that uniform.
It's a well-renowned jersey nerd across just about all sports. I'm certainly very excited to see more and more teams getting on board. A couple of great uniforms supplied by iAthletic for the Cougars this year. Obviously had their pink round a few weeks ago as well.
They did.
And that was a sensational outfit for them that particular week. Would love to see more teams getting on board with some special rounds here and there. Obviously, First Nations round the last couple of weeks in NBL 1 as well.
Yeah, had some awesome initiatives happen across BigV. We had a huge increase. I think it was a 22% increase across our BigV and NBL 1 teams or associations to get on board with First Nations. So that was really, really good to see. A lot of BigV teams take part in that with some Indigenous uniforms, some smoking ceremonies.
Yep. Nice feed. Nice block too. Kobe Baird, and again underneath Fowler. Sent back twice, Tom James. Return to sender. Maharaj now looking, floating, throwing it away. Like the idea there from Camberwell, McKinnon's number 11, and Conway tried to tee up a long ball and missed it. Baird the rebound. You mentioned First Nations round, and amongst the great initiatives that obviously BV and NBL 1 and Big V in general have across the course of the year, and pink round and mental health round and all sorts of rounds that have been great initiatives that are no doubt appreciated across the board.
Yeah, 100%. They're fantastic. The engagement that the associations have with some of these is Camberwell just sort of sleep and cruise back as Levi gets the easy 2. 20 points.
Hovering around that 20-point margin for the last minute or so. Here's Andre looking again and sent back against the backboard. Fowler. And Smith the other way finishes with no trouble whatsoever. I know we're a few months away from Thanksgiving, but Fowler bringing a stuffing for that one. Kick out pass now from Conway cross court, found Andre in the corner. His Heart spinning down the lane, flipping it up and missing. But not before getting the call, and he's going to go and shoot a couple from the line, Matt Hart.
I know I spoke about him earlier on commentary of just that guy who is just going to keep working. It doesn't matter what the scoreline is. It doesn't matter what situation the game is in. he's going to be ready to attack, put his bondy on a line, fall to the floor if he gets hit, and get himself to the free throw line. This guy he's sort of hard to come by sometimes. You give him a roll and be like, yes, coach, I will do that for you.
Absolutely. You just need a spark plug from time to time that's able to come out and give you, he's only played the 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes, and the stats are just not quite showing up on the stat sheet for him. 5-1 and a steal and a block.
Yeah.
But it's just those intangibles where you provide a really strong 1%ers here and there. Makes the first free throw, by the way. He's shooting at 83%-ish on the year.
Adriano Mandarino jumps in for the first time. That's McKinnon throwing in all 11 of their players for the night.
It's always good when you get the opportunity in a doubleheader weekend to rotate through your players, try and keep them at a reasonable level. Here's Maharaj. He's certainly not a stranger to playing the big minutes in these games. He's going to go and shoot a couple at the line now.
Yeah. I love that by McKinnon. Up 48-69 and still have that really good leadership to be able to huddle in a dead ball situation.
It just shows sort of a maturity that they've had across the course of their tenure. This group so tight-knit.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation with a couple of their guys about how tight-knit that group is.
Well, it's just such good culture building. I mean, you're able to do that. You're able to fix problems on the court, and you just create a bond that's just going to do you justice down the stretch and into finals. Is
your man, Matt Hart. Nice finish with contact up and in.
Find him again.
And just providing a little something here for Camberwell. 8 points for him. Has the opportunity to go to the line for an extra and make it 9.
Nothing fantastic about what he does, but he gets his job done.
So Hart has the opportunity to get this back to a 20-point game. It's starting to get out of hand a little bit for Camberwell with a minute to go here in the third. Yeah. Smith will handle it, try and extend this lead back out. They'll go through the middle here. Here's Smith again.
Back in that zone, Camberwell as well.
Baird with 9, with 8. Baird again. Oh, he was wide open for a 3 if he wanted it. Turned it over to Hart. Here's James. Here's Andre now. Andre on the right. Dumps it inside for Clark. Finishes and 1. Welcome back, Sean Clark. Pretty slim season by his lofty standards. 1.2 rebounds, half an assist, and shooting at 50%. But we know what he's capable of over his last few years. Obviously had a bit of a breakout year back in 23. On what was, at the time, a pretty poor Dragons outfit.
Well, even back when he was an Eltham boy.
That's right.
Playing youth league. He was probably about the same height, same size. Super impactful, though, on a youth league floor.
Oh, he's super impactful anywhere. He's just such a, yes, coach, I'll do it kind of player. Baird with 10 now. 1 second difference shot in game. Smith, deep three-pointer. Off the left iron and out. Crow with 3. Here's Hart. And that's going to be an offensive foul. And Hart just ran himself down a hallway, and I don't know. I would assume they'll put some time back on the clock here if that's an offensive foul. Yeah, they will indeed. So I think they're going to put probably, it'll only be a 10th or 2, but there will be some time left on the clock, I would imagine, for McKinnon to maybe try and get a tip on the rim. We'll take a quick leave of absence here as the scorers try and sort things out. Sean Clark down there placing Tom James where he wants him.
Yes, defense 101, I think. Just take away the rim.
I think you just have to have a bit of game awareness here if you can. Well, Kobe Baird is naked wide open on the far side talking with Adam Walsh. Wouldn't shock me if this ball ended up in his hands straight away and they tried to fling it up. I think they're just going to try and hide him. And I think Trent Andre's just realised that now. He has indeed. So away he comes. And if you're Sean Clark in this situation, you've just got to get all over the ball and try and disrupt it and make him throw it backwards and not at the rim. But we'll see how much they put on the clock, whether it's going to be a catch and shoot or a tip. I wouldn't have thought it would be anything more than a tip, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. I think these are the ones people sort of have fun with almost.
4/10. So we'll see what they can dial up here, McKinnon. Wouldn't shock me. They're getting away from the rim. They'll turn it over, and Hart's deflection will end the third quarter. So heading into the final term and the final change of ends, will be Camberwell 54 trailing a very strong McKinnon 71. 10 minutes of basketball left in this one, and McKinnon seemed to be winning this one in a canter to head west. And you think probably this is a great opportunity for them to tune up for the rest of the year and maybe get some minutes into guys that they don't necessarily normally get in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Camberwell are going to have to do something pretty special to bring this one back. I mean, they'll probably throw their starters back on here. I'm sure Conway's probably going to jump back in as well. Trent Andre will stay on the floor, if not come back on in this fourth here. But I think you're right. McKinnon might look to sort of mix things up a little bit. I mean, they play tomorrow night back home against Bellarine.
Important game as well. They're trying to seal up the top four, put it beyond doubt.
Yeah.
Bellarine tomorrow, Melbourne Uni next week, RMIT the following weeks, and even Keysborough. Jeez, I didn't even look that far ahead, but that's a tough road home for McKinnon over their last 6 or last 5 now.
Yeah, I mean, you look immediately to the next one at Bellarine. They got such a dynamic duo of Kerry Richardson and Malik McKinney. Kerry obviously being that sort of forward that'll match up on Fowler. Two pretty similar. I think Fowler's probably got a little bit more of the passing ability out of the post, but Kerry's got a high level of scoring ability. He's got a massive toolbox for him to be able to dive into. And McKinney with that shifty left, he's just so fast and dynamic, and he can play in transition. He can get downhill.
They're a completely different looking team too from what they were at the start of the year with the coaching change that they had. Obviously we had a look at them at Camberwell when they came out. They played at BSC at Baldwin High a few weeks ago, and really it was Richardson that was the damage doer that day for Bellarine, but we know how potent they can be.
Well, I mean, you bring in an Australian legend of Ray Borner.
That's right, yep.
Who I think they'll probably hold on to for next year as well, and give him an off-season to put some work in. There's a lot of respect that's going to come with that name and his ability.
An offensive foul is going to get called here. It's going to go against Sean Clark, who just got sucked in there a little bit with the Maharaj defense, threw his head back a little and got the call. He's quite prolific, Big Shaq, in terms of the way that he's able to draw a foul. Bit of full court press action here for Camberwell. They'll trap in the corner.
Look, why not?
Something's got to change.
Do something.
Something has to go differently for them.
Point of difference. Be a point of difference.
Barry now with 10. Kick out pass went straight into the hands of Hart. And here you go, Camberwell through Lai. Had about 3 sets of hands for company, but Jaden Lai, a nice finish up and in.
Not the typical lineup you probably see on a Camberwell floor here. But I mean, given the margin and trying to do something different, Lai and Hart in that backcourt with it. They get an 8-second violation.
Wow, that felt very fast for an 8-second violation, but I suppose that's just the manic nature of this Dragons defense this last minute or two.
Yep.
Lead still at 15 at the moment for McKinnon.
Probably a comfortable 15 too.
It doesn't feel like they've been particularly troubled. Here's Clark, and they'll just sit right off on him.
Yep.
Probably makes sense. Hasn't made a 3 all season so far. As Euro stepping down, Hill was James with 2 on the shot clock. I don't think anyone really realised that in the gym.
Levi did very well to go over guarding Conway there. There was some some touch games that they played across. He was just very much into his hip and just forcing him over with nothing.
James at the line makes the first, his second trip in the game so far. 2 or 3 from the line after that one. Make it 2 out of 4 as Conway wins the offensive rebound back. Nice hustle underneath. Maharaj had no idea he was around. Snuck up like a librarian. Sorry to some Gilda fans out there. Inside for James, working on Barry. Spun around, kicked it out. Hart, Clark now. Now Lai. Well, they turned down 3 threes then. They probably should have taken at least one of them. Hart, the floater, bit strong. And falls the way of Lingberg. Here's Barry. Clark for company. Maharaj. Lingberg, now Barry. Off the little step-up screen from Painenborg, and he'll turn it over as Hart goes downhill. A lot of body contact, tried to flip it up and in, and geez, it would have been an acrobatic play if that went down, but fell out, and he's going to go and shoot a couple.
See, now this is that time that we've probably seen a few times by Camberwell that they've made a little bit of a run. We see a timeout here by McKinnon that, yeah, they make a few indents in this scoreline. They bring it into less than 20. But then, as we've seen tonight, McKinnon then just put it back out to 20 and get it back to a much more comfortable state for them. So I think this right here is do or die for Camberwell. Can they edge this margin back even more and make this a genuine ball game for themselves? Or are McKinnon going to come out of this timeout, put 5, 6, 7 points on the board, with no retaliation from Camberwell, and then it'd just be sort of job done?
I think for me, Camberwell have left themselves an invoice. There's a big price to pay now for them after the early days in this one. They needed to be doing that work in the first period when, before things got totally out of hand and they were down 14 at the first break. It all happened in that second half of the first quarter. And all of a sudden, you're behind the 8 ball for the rest of the game, and it doesn't matter how hard you fight back. And very, very rare unless you're the Indiana Pacers. It's very hard to fight back from a double-digit deficit in the
100%.
Fourth quarter of a game. So
that's very true.
As good as Sean Conway is, Therese Halliburton, he is not.
Well, you put him in some pin downs. You put him in that mid-post where he can go to work. You put your other 4 guys in a position where McKinnon can't go and help, and if they do, they're having to over-rotate. And they might be able to do something if they stay in this press, this 2-2-1 press, if they gamble a little bit.
I like the job that they've done on the defensive end as Hart misses the first. I like the job they've done defensively. I just don't know that they can afford to play Conway off the ball at the moment. I just don't know that they can get him the ball. I think McKinnon have just done such a formidable job tonight of keeping the ball out of his hands when it gets out of his hands.
Yep, or just made it super difficult for him to find one.
Massive
when
challenge.
He does.
Massive challenge for them. Here goes Gear. Just check back in. Samankovic is inside and finishes with the right over the top of the ring.
Been a bit quiet, Remo, tonight.
6 points. He only had 6 last time they played each other earlier in the year as well. So maybe Campbell just having his number, or maybe a more defensive style game for him as Conway just turns it straight over. That's uncharacteristic from him.
Yeah, you see Jordan Gear on that nail, just eating space, taking away that middle drive from Conway.
Too easy there for Fowler. Remo again now looking inside, finds Gear, finds Barry. Barry somehow in a field of 3 hands ended up uncontested for the layup.
Yeah.
Conway now working himself into a double team, steps up for 3, just around and out. Nice rebound, Tom James finishes inside. Provided a little bit for them off the bench. He's kind of had to, as Smith is wide open for 3, uncontested in the end. 18 points now, the lead again, and I suppose we've got our answer for which McKinnon would turn up out of that timeout. Hart now working, Liar 3, did not look like it for a second. As Conway got an offensive rebound and then fouled by Barry. So he tried to reach in and slap away from behind.
Do you stay with this group, the Dragons? Do you put Trent back in? Do you put Crowe back in, get a bit more shooting on the perimeter?
I think with the way this result's gone, Sunday is now a must-win.
Yeah.
And that's a challenging game going away to Shep. And Shep, I think, would see this game on the schedule and think that this is one that they can definitely clean up at home. Dragons obviously struggled when they went up there last year. It's a very different looking lineup, though, it must be said. Smith tried to get a little right-hand floater, and Fowler tried to clean it up. Goes off a Camberwell handed out. Didn't travel very well to Shepparton last year, the Dragons, and got done quite comprehensively. I appreciate that it is a very different looking team, though. So it'll be curious to see what Conway can do on the road up there and see what sort of output they can get from Andre. And hopefully it's a better defensive output, I think, would be the main message from Sean King tonight.
Look, I think regardless of the lineup that Shepparton have, it's just never easy to get on the road, take that 2-hour trip, go and play in the Shepparton atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
100%.
like they get a crowd most of the time.
Well, it's the biggest thing happening in town on a particular day or night. So
it is. When
you know,
Wadey's not playing golf, he's coaching coaching the Shepparton Gators.
What a life to live. That'll be the dream.
Yeah.
Nice block there from Conway. Remo got his own board, and Conway's going to end up with it. Up top for Matt Hart, and obviously thought he was throwing it to Mike Reeves on that lob, but threw it away in the end. And I suppose there's your answer as well, because back in come Andre, and back in comes Crowe, and it's pretty much a full-strength starting lineup, with the exception of Reeves still sitting.
Gee, was he listening to me before? Was he tuning into that commentary?
We do probably provide a live feed, I think. I don't know how that would go with the integrity unit, but it's, you know, live on YouTube. Glad you're here with us, wherever you're watching.
Absolutely.
Here's Gear.
Late clock, this is where he goes to work.
Oh, long three-pointer. Oh,
Stop it, Geordie.
Oh, man. That's just not a foul you can give up in that instance, as Barry got an offensive board underneath and James fouled him as he tried to power it back up. And sure enough, right on cue, Mike Reeves is going to check back in. So we'll see how long he can last with his 4 fouls. But in the meantime, Mitch Barry is going to go to the line and shoot a couple. 12.4 on the season a game. 14 tonight with the potential to add more. And does indeed. He's good on the first.
Really found a home here at McKinnon, Mitch Barry. Coming from Dandenong, I believe, as a junior. He was in the state pathway. I think he was in some state teams as probably more known as a prolific three-point shooter back in those days.
Definitely.
I remember playing against him, and it was not enjoyable.
No, I can imagine.
But no, definitely found a home here, and he's able to change the way he plays, be a little bit more...
Reeves, the hammer! Mike Reeves took it probably from Dandenong and threw that one down with authority, and it's been a rare highlight play for Camberwell on the evening, as Smith the other way was a bit strong on the 3-ball. 16 points still Camberwell's disadvantage, as Conway downhill and one. They couldn't possibly, could they? Lead back to 14, potentially 13 with the incoming free throw.
Tough move.
Still 4 3/4 minutes left in this.
That was just a physical move there from Conway. Able to use his body so well, stay grounded. That center of gravity was just so composed getting downhill there.
Just so strong through the core to be able to get these up and in, these shots. And we've seen it week in, week out with the way he plays. And like we say, it's not out of the context of the offense. It's all ethical basketball as he makes another from the line.
Just good transition offense from him, just able to get downhill.
Absolutely. Barry, too easy there. Got it to Gear. Barry again. Working inside for Fowler, turned it over. And Hart the other way, couldn't get it. Tip in, Conway, nice finish. Over the top on the offensive rebound. Leads back to 11. Maharaj. Gear. Skip pass. Inside now, here's Fowler. Maharaj wide open in the corner, wanted it, flipped it up, didn't get it. Got his own rebound though. Inside underneath, missed a lot and got fouled. And I think if you're Camberwell, you're scratching your head. Why would we foul that? That's off balance.
Yeah.
But no, in the end they do, and it'll be Maharaj going to the line to add to his 18-point account. And that's Reeves out of the game as well. That's his fifth. I think that's just a bit of game knowledge. You've probably got to put your hand up there and take that if you're underneath there, and Sean Conway or literally anyone else.
Yeah. I don't mind this from Camberwell, though. Brought it to 11. They've definitely put this press out just to take time off the clock, and McKinnon have seen offense in the last 10 seconds and the last few possessions, so there hasn't really been any set structure, set offense. It's sort of had to just be ball screen and play, which is sometimes gone their way, sometimes hasn't, but was it 13 now?
Yeah, back to 13 now. The McKinnon lead. Conway looked for it off James and they couldn't get it to him. Here he is now, Conway on Barry, spinning. Managed to get him to drop, and James just blows a wide open layup. That's a gimme. You cannot be missing those ones at this stage of a game.
Pressure situation like this, they needed that.
Instead, down the other end, McKinnon are going to get a chance to put this back out to 15, and you would think, beyond doubt, as Andre's active hands tips it out of bounds.
Conway gone to 20 points here, 20 and 12.
Barry, three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Andre has Crow for company. Crow the three from the left wing, no good. And I think that's going to go off it's going to go off a Camberwell hand. I thought that might have been off Maharaj, but they'll say it was off Conway, and McKinnon will take it away.
3:03 left. McKinnon really need to be smart with how they utilise the clock here. Long sets.
Been a lot of really tight games between McKinnon and Camberwell over the last 3 years. And this is certainly an exception, I beg your pardon, as Semankovic has tried to knock down the corner three, and Camberwell will get the rebound as it falls out of play. They're going to need some pretty quick answers here, Camberwell. Let's see where that can come from. Obviously, as you say, McKinnon will try and drive some long sets offensively.
Yeah, Camberwell really got to go here.
Crow, hard inside. Off balance, flipped it up. That's not the look you're after if you're Camberwell. As away come the Cougars. Barry. Clearing it out. Has an eternity. Acre of space too. Fowler. Kick out for Maharaj. Guarded by Andre. Tried to get it up and in. Couldn't. Off they go. Wow, Conway and Crow tried to collaborate, and they ended up turning it over in the end, as Conway got met by a strong Jordan Gear, who's going to end up with the ball now. Tick under 2 minutes to go. 13 points to lead. That was an opportunity there for Camberwell that's gone begging, as now Gear's going to go inside and finish. 15-point lead for McKinnon. Crow inside for James. James blows another layup. And they're going to get the floor wipers out just to clean up down the Camberwell end. This is what we were talking about earlier about Conway, is that he just has a habit of having a really quiet, I think we were talking about it off air, really quiet first half, and then gets himself going in the second. This has been one of the more quiet 20-point outings that we've probably seen over the course of the year. Yeah. Maharaj has been, maybe had a noisy 20, but Conway, on the other hand, very quiet 20. 20, 12, 4 assists. Been doing it all.
Yeah, and I mean, McKinnon, on the other hand, there's been three obvious key pieces tonight of Fowler 100% being probably number one. Maharaj with his 20, some impactful scores from 3 out inside the paint, and Mitch Barry as well, with getting to the free throw line, earning himself some freebies, and then just getting to the line, getting through the paint.
If the white flag hadn't come up for Camberwell, it has now. They've cleared the bench out.
Yeah.
Di Bortoli, Howie, Cawthorn, Brandy have all come into the game, along with Conway and Lai. As Samantha Vicious, a 3 is pure right down the middle for Remo. This one, if it wasn't already in the books, it certainly is now. Conway, a triple, was pure right down the middle over the top of 2 sets of hands. Geez, he's got that capability, but it's just too little too late, unfortunately, for the Dragons.
I think so.
16 points in arrears with a minute to go. And Gear sits on the ball for a little minute. They'll go inside to Fowler, and it'll go off the Howie hand and fall out of bounds. So Conway checks out. He retires with 23 on the game. Hart will check back in. He's been the next best for Camberwell with 12. They'll throw it off Mitch Barry. That's just wise play from the big fella. Throws it off of Camberwell backside and gets his own ball back. Cawthorn Brandy. Howie upstairs stuffs it with 2 hands. And opens his account for the game with just under 40 seconds, 30 now. Barry will handle it. Zone look here for Camberwell. 8 seconds. Long 3-pointer for Gear. Around and out, and Lai the rebound. I think they're going to play this one out, Camberwell.
Yeah.
They'll throw to Hart. Left wing 3, in and out. And a nice tip in. I think that was off the hand of Maharaj, but Cawthorn Brandy's going to put his hand up and say that he wants it, and that will put it in the books. So it will be, at the end of the game, 87-75 win for McKinnon. And really, Camberwell didn't look like firing a shot in that one, but it was really cream rising to the top with McKinnon's performance tonight. Ted West, closing thoughts.
Look, I think it's really impressive to see what McKinnon are capable of. They had some stints there where they looked just unstoppable. And we spoke about how they've got more pieces to come with injuries and whatnot. So this is a finals contention team. Camberwell, look, they have glimpses where they look impressive. I'm not sure if it's a finals contention team. But, I mean, they work. They'll just continue to work. They got guys who will come off the bench that are going to be impactful. They're going to work, and they got a core group that I think they can do something with in the years to come. Having said that, there's probably got to be a bit of work to do within, how they just stay together as a group when the going gets tough. They just got to come together a little bit more, string some stops, get some more high percentage looks offensively. It was just a bit of a struggle for them. A lot of it was contested, and when it wasn't contested, they were just missing dummies around the rim.
Yep. Absolutely. So they'll McKinnon will welcome in Bellarine to the Den tomorrow night. And Camberwell will make the trip up the highway to Shepparton for Sunday, but certainly looks like things are starting to click at the right time of year for McKinnon and for Camberwell. Well, it's going to be very tough for them from here. Not impossible, but it's certainly going to be difficult for them. To recap that final score, it was McKinnon 87, Camberwell 75 for Ted West. This is Jack Thornton signing off. We'll see you next time here from Camberwell.
See you guys.